It's Edward Roski, and I'm asking good questions. Why is OpenAI building its own chip? OpenAI and Broadcom went and built a whole custom chip together, and they call it Jalapeno. I did not name it. I have questions for whoever did. Maybe it's because it's spicy. I don't know. This isn't that terribly interesting news on the surface. Google, Amazon, Meta, they all make their own AI chips, mostly so that they can rent fewer of NVIDIA's. But what's interesting about this one is the clock, the speed, because designing a custom high performance chip usually takes years to get from a drawing to a working part. OpenAI did their chip design in about 9 months. The reason, according to OpenAI President George Brockman, who's an awesome follow on X, by the way, is that they leaned on their own AI models to help design it, and how much that sped things up was, in his words, very surprising to us. When the company that builds the tool is surprised at how well it builds its own next thing, it's either awesome or terrifying. But it's an inference chip, which is the kind that answers your questions instead of the kind that are being used to train the model, which means OpenAI just used AI to help build the chip that AI is going to run on. Cue your disaster movies now. Okay, so OpenAI used its AI to design the chip in 9 months. But so what? Maybe that's the speed they always should have been at. Well, the reason a custom chip normally takes years is the human design work. It's millions of small decisions about layout and power and timing, and the engineers normally grind through this over a whole lot of time by hand slash stuff they type into a computer. And OpenAI handed a chunk of that grind to its own models, and then the years became months. Now, I don't want to oversell this. People still did what I'm calling, at least at the moment, the hard parts. The AI mostly compressed the slow, expensive, really freaking boring middle part. But pay attention to the direction, because every generation of these tools makes the next one faster to build. And that now includes the hardware that they run on. And I think that's the part of the AI boom that most people, including most investors, are underpricing. We spend most of our attention on AI writing things like emails and code, mine included. But now we have a move into AI shortening its own supply chain. Also, they named it after a pepper, which is kind of funny because the chip is mostly what makes the computers hot. But the first jalapeno chips are headed into OpenAI's own data centers, and they're going in at an enormous scale. But think about it. If AI can take years off building its own hardware, what's the next thing AI takes years off of? If you found this quick and helpful, please subscribe. But until next time, keep asking good questions.